Hey everybody, it's me, Mike. Welcome to my channel. This is my inaugural video, so make sure to subscribe because it's going to be a great video. Today, I'm going to show you how to grind your own beans and make some coffee. There's a lot of ways to make coffees out there, a lot of different types of beans, a lot of different apparatuses with which you can boil your water, press your stuff, do all sorts of things. But in this method, we'll be using a coffee grinder, manual operated, and it's just a good way to put a little bit of elbow grease in your coffee and a great way to start your day. You really enjoy your cup. So, to start, you'll need a few materials. I'll give you a look here. As you can see, these are our materials. You'll have to excuse our kitchen. It's a little messy because we made some cookies last night, and they were delicious. There's only one left, chocolate chip. Now, the first things that we have here, of course, are our beans. These are bought at the Intelligentsia. I thought they were grounds, but I bought these. That's what prompted me to get the grinder. So you can read that if you like. I don't really care what it has to say. So, pause it if you're interested. This is our coffee grinder disassembled, and I'll walk you through the parts of the apparatus as we go along. I have a French press here, pretty common implement. Every home should have one. And over here we have an electric tea kettle. This is what we're going to use today. Water goes on here. You plug it in, switch it off, switch it on. Pretty simple. You can also use a stovetop tea kettle if you like this one pictured here. But we're going to use the electric one. It's just a little easy. So first thing I like to do is put some water in this guy. So pretty standard operated sink, not too hard. If you've never used an electric tea kettle before, I don't know, maybe try using a different video to figure it out. You can figure anything out on YouTube these days. So I'm just, making enough coffee for myself, so that should probably be enough. And all you have to do, these electric things are really a wonder, so all I have to do is switch that on. Look at that blue glow. Now, what we have here is our grinder apparatus, and these are the parts. This is the basin, so when you grind the coffee, it's going to fall into this basin, as you can see here. This is this model, by the way, is the Hario Skirtin Pro. They did not pay me to push their product, but they probably should have. Now, so you have that there. This here is what actually does all the work. This is the burr, as I think it's called, I've been told. And this is going to rub along the edges of the inside of this, and that is what is going to grind your coffee up. So, some of you might be thinking, what are these little tiny pieces here and what are they called? I'll tell you what I call them. I call this one the sprocket, I call this one the thingy, and this one the thing that goes on top. So, that's what I like to call those things. So we're going to put this thing together now. And this is going to go inside of this. So you'll have to excuse me, but I'm going to try to do this so you can all see. So you're going to take this and you're going to stick it in here like so. And as you can see, this thing will adjust up and downwards, and that's what we use the sprocket to do. So once you have that in there, you've got that in there, this thing will pop in and out based on adjustment, right? The sprocket will go on top. There's actually also a little tiny clear plastic washer, so you're going to go ahead and set that right on top of the thing just to prevent rubbing. I'll probably lose that piece, so don't worry if you don't have one yourself. Now you take the sprocket and you screw on the sprocket just like you would screw on any sort of screw. Look at that, very smooth. It's a wonderful product. You're going to screw it all the way down, until you can't really screw it anymore. Now, if you notice, if you try to turn the rod, the central rod, it won't really turn if you screw down the sprocket all the way. That's because the sprockets, if you want to adjust it up or down, like so, say, I'm just going to give it a slight turn. That way, the burr is a little bit looser. So you can adjust the burrs to have the size of the ground that you want. If you want a more finely ground bean, if you want, maybe a little bigger piece. And see, like as you unscrew, it will drop more and more. Careful not to unscrew it all the way because your burr will go ahead and drop right out of its holder, as you can see there. So I'm going to go with a pretty fine ground here today. So it'll be about like so. Now, everybody, Joe just arrived. Joe, I'm making a YouTube video onto how to grind coffee.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, to start my channel. Would you like to be in it?
I can make a brief cameo.
There he is.
Hello, viewers.
There he is. Now, the next step is to put on what I like to call the thingy. So you're just going to set that up on there nicely. There's one orientation to which it will go on, so once you figure that out, it will just slip right on there. You know, don't be too rough with it, but eventually it'll fit right on. The next step, you can put on your handle. We'll go over just in the same fashion. There's only one orientation where it will go on. It's kind of hard to do while I manipulate the camera, but eventually you should be able to get it. And then lastly, the thing that goes on top, of course. This thing here. Maybe in my second video, I'll have enough viewers and enough money to hire a cameraman. And you want to screw that on nice and tight. This is what's going to help you do all your grinding, of course. Now, you can make however much beans, however much thing you like. As you can hear, this thing is buzzing, it's working hard. Our water is heating up. And so I'm just going to grab a few beans. Do this on top of the reservoir. There's a common screw maneuver. So you screw this on top of the reservoir. The base in the reservoir, you can call it whatever you like. And, you know, I'm going to throw a few more beans in there actually before we say our farewells. And then I'm going to pop the top on. A rubberized top, as you can see. We wouldn't want our beans jumping out at us. These aren't jumping beans after all. And it'll look like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it a grind. And so you can all see. Yeah. We're just going to turn the handle as you would turn any sort of handle. And you might be able to tell, we'll have to check the quality or the light, but as you turn the handle, you should be able to see that the grounds will drop into the basin. They will fall from the top to the thing in the bottom, as it's called. It doesn't take that long. You'll know you're done grinding when it'll be pretty easy to turn the handle, and it'll be all done. It should only take a few seconds. You can really hear those things running up. That means you're doing all the hard work. Just about finished here. My handle is very easy to turn. I feel like I'm barely doing any work, so that means you're probably just about done around it. And once you know it, our hot water is ready. So now we've got, as you can see here, a nice little anthill of grounds. Take a good look. It's a shame you're not here to smell it. Now, just like magic, our hot water is ready. So we're going to prepare our French press. By that I mean take the lid off. And we're going to go water in. Water in. And we'll fill it up to about there. You can use as much water as you like. It's your choice. And at this time, we're going to just unscrew the top. As you might recall, there's a screw mechanism here. There we go. We'll set that gently down. We wouldn't want to lose any of the pieces. And we're just going to pop this at the top. There we go. And we're just going to give this a stir. As I said before, there's a lot of ways you can make coffee in a French press. This is just one of them. But it's your choice, really. So we're just going to let this sit for a short period of time. So you can see it's nicely brown in color, like you would expect coffee to be. A little swirl there. Sorry if the camera's a little steamy. It's a little hot in here. This message brought to you by Intelligentsia. We're just going to let it hang out for a while. There's no rush. Alright, welcome back. So I've been letting this sit for about 3 or 4 minutes. Like I said, you can kind of do whatever you want. It's your choice. Now the final step, pretty easy. You're just going to pop this thing on. And you're just going to push on that stuff down. You want all those grounds right down in the bottom, just like so. Pretty simple. And then, bon appetit, as they say. Give yourself a fresh cup of coffee, just like Grandma used to make. Brought to you by Andy Warhol.